and early in the morning. We're looking at CL futures. Okay. We got a really strong zone up here and an A plus setup to the downside. So I'm just keeping my eye on CL here. We are in manipulation time, so I'm not going to take a trade. I'm going to wait for this time right here to turn white. Okay. Wait for this time to turn white. And once it does, I might entertain going short here. Now we have gotten hung up here on this zone previously, but we didn't get too far. We hit this brick wall and we're coming back down. So I got my eye on this. Okay, so we're out of manipulation time. Here we go. So now the time is white. And I want to see how it's going to react at this level. Price a lot of times likes to move away from the stronger zone. Not every time. And when you're trading early in the morning, there's a little bit of probability taken away from you, right? Because it's just so early in the morning. Wall Street's not trading. The volume is much different. So, but what I love is how slow it moves, because it just gives me time to think, time to process, time to make decisions, all that stuff. But we got hot pink candles here, so I'm pretty bearish. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. We got an A plus setup on the Ultimate Trading Assistant. The Maverick radar is pegged to the top with a downtrend label. We got a brick wall up here of a zone drawn by your Maverick zones automatically. And price a lot of times likes to move away from the stronger zone. You have a pretty weak score here. So you can see how the market's like kind of waiting. Like, do we want to break through? Do we want to break through? And I'm looking for some sort of kind of momentum to show that we're not just going to get hung up between these two zones. The last thing I want to do is enter a trade and then price just get hung up between these two zones, right? So pretty interesting stuff. Let me see. I just turned on my minor zones. I had my retest zones on earlier. There's about, 5 or 6 different types of zones in the Maverick zones indicator. Yeah, so again, why are we looking at this trade? Well, we got a red background. Before I do that, let me actually explain something. What we do before we take a trade, at least my style, I guess, but I'm not here to teach you how to trade. I'm here to show you these amazing tools. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stack probability in my favor. Stack probability in my favor. Okay, so meaning that this is your checklist here. Does it check this box? So we got a red background. Okay, so we just checked this box. We have hot pink candles. Hot pink candles are your strongest downside data candle. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Okay, you can see that right here. Not a lot of bullish action here last night. This is over the night action. Here's yesterday. So if you see pink, it will most likely sink. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. This is a huge move in CL. By the way, beautiful. Let me point this out. Beautiful buy signal here. Beautiful sell signal here. Beautiful buy signal here. So anyway, this is the Maverick buy sell beta. But what we're doing is we're trying to stack that probability, right? Okay, so you got your checklist. Okay, do we have a red background? Yes. Do we have hot pink candles? Yes. Do we have an A plus setup to the downside on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, which I'll talk about in a second? Yes. Are all 5 traders voting bearish across 6 time frames? Just about yes, right? So what we're doing is we're putting all this together. We're putting so many things together to go, okay, probability is on our side. We want to go short. But we want to know that probability is on our side. If you don't have these tools, okay, if you don't have the zones, you have no idea there's a zone there. If you don't have the Maverick Multi-X, which is 5 traders voting across 6 time frames, imagine trading with 5 other traders. and they're all voting across 6 time frames, every single tick, and they all have a completely different style. Imagine if I took that away from you, okay? Imagine if you didn't see that you have hot pink candles, which is your strongest downside data candle, or a red background. You didn't have the Maverick AI Pro coloring your candles like a heat map. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Now you're just left with just red and green candles. Okay? What if I took away the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar, which is going through our entire checklist of things that we look for from our indicators before we even think about taking a trade, and it's confirming that with either no setup, a B setup, or an A setup. And right now we have an A plus setup to the downside. What if I took that away? Okay? What if I took away the Maverick Trender? See this line? When this line is pegged to the top, that is showing massive strength and momentum. Look at this. Here, down to here. That's where it was pegged from. Okay? Look at this move. All the way back here. You started getting pegged here. You came up, you came down, boom, boom, boom. All the way down to about, more like here. It's a huge move. Huge move, right? What if I took that away? Okay? What if I took away, look at this. Sell signal. Banger. Buy signal. I mean, this is 2 in the morning, but come on. Okay? Sell signal. Buy signal. Okay? I could do this all day long. Well, all night long. Like your boy Lionel Richie. Look at this sell signal. But what if I took that away? Okay? So this is what clear vision will get you from, let me turn on all these guys again. Sorry. Okay. Boom. There we go. Okay. So hopefully I didn't miss this trade now that I've been showing you this. But what we're doing is we're stacking probability in our favor. If it walks like a duck, it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Well, you got red background, okay, which is showing bearish momentum. You got hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle, okay? Maverick Trender is pegged to the top, showing momentum to the downside. If it's green to the upside, red to the downside. But remember, we're at 6:53 a.m. You're not going to get this crazy volume and these crazy huge moves. Market's going to move really, really slow, okay? All 5 traders are voting pretty much bearish across 6 time frames. You can change these time frames. You can add a 7th time frame. Now we're in manipulation time. Okay, the Maverick Atomic Clock, which comes in the ToolKit that we released this weekend for NinjaTrader, essentially turns your NinjaTrader into TradingView. Into TradingView. So like, you know how on TradingView you can put all your favorite tools over here. And then what's also cool is, and you just saw me do it, you can add or remove your zones here. So, I mean, any one of your indicators rather. So the zones, if I just want to get rid of the zones real quick, I could just click that and bring it right back. Maverick Multi-X, all 5 traders. Trader 1 through Trader 5, their algorithms, think of them as traders. They're voting across 6 time frames. Okay, so let's see what happens when this time turns white. But I got my eye on being bearish because all the pieces here are pointing to the downside. Okay, now you lost your grade here. You don't have a setup grade. We use this as confirmation, but look at, I'm still bearish though, because look, you have a B setup to the downside on the Maverick AI Pro. Okay, you have multiple signals to the downside on these indicators. You just need, for a B or an A plus setup, you need to have a pretty good score, like very, very, very high score. So for us to just see how you're getting a B setup every once in a while, because it's calculating every single tick. Okay. But we're still in that manipulation time. Okay, when this time turns white, I can take a trade. The Maverick Atomic Clock. And you can turn that feature on and off. It's just my theory around manipulation time, but market makers grabbing your stop losses, all that other stuff. So, all right, so it's about to turn white. Boom, there we go. Now we can actually watch it. Look how crazy that is. This came out of manipulation time. You immediately had an A plus set up to the downside. That's insane. Okay, that is crazy cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is, if we push into this zone at all, I'm probably going to take a short. Okay, but let's see. And when I say I'm going to take a short, I'm just going to take a tester. But, you know, this early in the morning on CL, it might just respect this zone. Even though we have a weak score, it might just respect this zone for a little bit before it breaks down. The coolest thing, so this is the Maverick zones, I guess I should point that out. What it's doing is it's auto drawing your support and resistance zones. I'm going to take a tester here, guys. Okay. It's auto drawing your support and resistance zones. Okay. So we no longer have to draw our support and resistance zones. This thing's doing it for us on the fly. And then when price gets close to the zone, see, it's not close to this zone, it's not close to a zone below it, it's not close to this zone, but it's right here on this zone. What it's going to do is it's going to give you what we call a probability score. And this probability score is telling you what's the likelihood of price breaking or holding. Okay, anything greater than 90% is like a brick wall. We just don't even mess with it. Anything less than 90% is game for breaking. Okay, now you may look at this and go, oh, we're going to break this. We got a 71% score. He just said anything less than 90% is game for breaking. Yes, but a zone is a zone, a zone is a zone, meaning that even if it's a weak score, you still need to respect it, okay? Because the Maverick zones is auto drawing your support and resistance zones by probability, not by just, you know, where price touched before. Or you'd have a zone here, you'd have a zone here. You know what I mean? You'd have a zone right here, okay? But that's not how this works. This is a probability formula to understand where is the highest probability zones. Because remember, there's orders here, there's orders here, and we got to gobble through these orders to get here, gobble through these orders to get to the next level, right? This is a level to level game. This is a zone to zone game. See, what did you do here? You came up, you hit this zone, came back down, hit this zone, came back down, came up, tap this zone. Boom, now you're bringing down here. Coming up here, it's trying to get up to the next zone. Nope, gonna get stuck here. Gonna try and get to the next zone. Nope, gonna get stuck here. And we might just come back up and try and touch the next zone before we move back down, okay? I'm getting in a little early, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, so I'm gonna leave my chart up. We're just gonna watch this thing. I'm only in one contract. I'm only in one contract. You're in manipulation time, so I would expect some retracement here. But I'm feeling pretty bearish. I mean, all 5 traders are voting bearish across almost all 6 time frames. You have bearish data candles. Okay, Maverick Trender has not wavered. It has been pegged this entire time, which is a lot of times a heads up to me that going like, oh, there's more to this move. You have a downtrend label, and we keep going in between a B and an A setup to the downside. Okay, so pretty interesting stuff. But again, we got to get through the next 40 seconds or so before we can actually pass judgment, because you're in manipulation time. Okay, and that's why the time is red. When that time turns white, you're out of that, you know, crazy manipulation time, and we can resume our judgment. Ooh, I like down confidence arrow, but I'm going to reserve my judgment until this time turns, oops, wrong drawing tool. This time turns white. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave my chart up, and then I may add to the position once we start breaking through this zone here. All right, cool. So this is what clear vision looks like on your charts. No guesswork. You know, are we bearish? Are we bullish? I mean, come on. Okay, I'm going to leave my chart up, and we'll just keep watching this thing. All right, so we're finally breaking through. Beautiful. I'm actually going to, if we break through with some momentum here, even though I'm in manipulation time, if we get some momentum push down, I will add to this position. I will add 1 to this position. There we go. Okay. So as a rule, see, we're in manipulation time. So I have to be okay with a little bit of retracement here because I'm getting in during manipulation time. That's okay. That's fine. But let's watch the direction when we get out of this red time here. Let's watch this direction. Once we get out of this red time, okay. Interesting. So, are we going to get hung up here on this zone? Push down. There we go. We're out of manipulation time. We went from -$dollars to 160. Okay. So this is still a zone to be contended with. These are 5-minute candles. You got hung up here. You got hung up here for a bunch of time. Now we're starting to get hung up here. So let's see if we can break through this thing. We have a red background. Bears are in control. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. We have an A+ setup to the downside. I might add to this position if we really push through. The ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick radar down here, is going through our entire checklist to decide, do we even have a setup? And if we do have a setup, is it a B setup or an A setup? And right now we have an A+ setup to the downside. During this chop, this is so cool. Look at from here to about here. During this chop, whoops, probably draw it to there. Maverick Trender was not pegged. So you would have no reason to get into this trade if you weren't in it already. Okay. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames here. Look how slow we're moving. This is why I love early in the morning. Now, our indicators work on NinjaTrader and TradingView and on all the sessions, but this is just my personal preference. All right, so I'm waiting for a break of this zone here. I'm going to add one more. Whoops, what did I just do there? All right, I just closed my position. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. So we made 200 bucks on that because I closed the position. I'm now going to get into 3 contracts. I normally don't just get into 3 contracts, but I wanted to just add 1 position, and I closed it out for 200 bucks. Woo! See, it's one thing to trade. It's a whole nother thing to be showing these indicators while I trade. By the way, on a funded account, okay? So just throwing that out there. All right, so we're breaking through this zone. We got a 59 score. We already closed out $200. I didn't want to, but I did. I clicked the wrong button. So we already closed out 200 bucks. So we're up, what, $360 now. Okay, so beautiful. Again, why are we in this trade? We're stacking probability, folks. Red background, hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. I'm going to get into one more contract. Okay, we have an A+ setup. Let me clean up my charts here. We got an A+ setup on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick radar. Okay, going through our entire checklist to decide, do we even have a setup? And if we do have a setup, what is that setup? Okay, is it an A setup? Is it a B setup? Okay, we're in manipulation time. We're in manipulation time, which I didn't even look at. I just added to the position, and I wasn't even paying attention to that because I'm talking here on the recording. But we're in manipulation time, so for the next minute, I got to sit on my hands. I got to sit on my hands and reserve judgment of what is happening because time is red right here. Let me get this out of here. Hang on one second, guys. I just hit the close button. I don't normally use that feature on NinjaTrader of the take profit, so I just want to get it out of the way. So this is clear for you. I know a lot of you guys watch on your phones. All right, Maverick Trender's pegged to the top, red background, Hot pink candle's your strongest downside data candle. A+ setup to the downside on the Ultimate Trading Assistant here, and all 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. All right, so can't believe I already closed out 200 bucks of it. I must have hit the wrong button. All right, so now we just wait. We're out of manipulation time. Okay, now your time is white. This is the atomic clock, comes in the PowerPack, the toolkit for NinjaTrader that we just came out with this weekend, which is at a crazy stupid launch price, by the way. I'll put all those links in below, but yeah, so now here's the thinking, right? This is a zone-to-zone game. Well, let me do it like this. Let me show you like this. Okay, came down, hit this zone. Tried to get up, didn't, got stuck on the Maverick guide. Came back down, tapped this zone. Got through the Maverick guide, came up to this zone. Now we're breaking down, and we've broken this zone here. So now what is once support should now be resistance, right? Now, how do I know it's not just gonna fly up like this? Well, it could, but I have a lot more tools at my disposal, meaning that, okay, that I have hot pink candles, my strongest downside data candle. I have a red background. I'm just going to keep saying this because this is simple stuff. We have an A+ setup to the downside on the Ultimate Trading Assistant going through our entire checklist. The Maverick Trender's pegged to the top, and all 5 traders right now are voting bearish across 6 time frames. How cool is that? Now, are we going to get some retracement here? Are we going to come down, get some retracement here, maybe get hung up here before we head down? I'm going to leave my screen up, and let's keep watching this thing. All right, so we wobbled around here. This zone was to be contested with, but like we talked about, what was once support, you break through, has now become resistance. Okay, that's how a lot of these zones work. So love seeing the down confidence arrow right here. We had another down confidence arrow here. We had one right here. Yeah, we'll just keep watching this trade. But we got an A+ setup to the downside on the Ultimate Trading Assistant. We have hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. All 5 traders have still been bearish across 6 time frames. It's like, come on, let's go. Okay, downtrend label. And again, this thing's going to move super slow. It's 7:41 a.m. Do we have any news today? Let me see here. Do we have any news? No, we don't have any news. This is the Maverick News. It'll pull all your news for the day. That could affect your chart. Pretty cool stuff. And then it'll mark it on your chart. Sorry, there's a zone right over it, but you can see, maybe if I squinch this real good, you can read it. But and it'll just tell you, if the Fed's talking or whatever, and then it'll mark the time on your chart. Very cool. Comes in the PowerPack, the toolkit for NinjaTrader. And with a click of a button, I can turn it off. All right, cool. So let's keep watching this thing. But all signs are pointing to the downside. It's just going to move really, really slow at this time in the morning. But that's cool. We don't have any news. And yeah, I'll just leave my chart up and we'll keep watching this thing. But this is what clear vision looks like. Would you go long here? Would you go long here? Red background, even if you don't own these indicators yet. I mean, just look at this. Hot pink candles. I told you that's your strongest downside data candle. Would you go long here? Red background. Would you go long here? A+ setup to the downside. Would you go long here? All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. Would you go long here? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, just probably not the best idea, right? Because this is so clearly bearish. This is so clearly to the downside. So I'm gonna leave my charts up and let's keep watching this thing. But it's just gonna move really, really slow. Kind of a boring trade, but it should work out a-okay. So we're gonna keep watching this thing, and I'll leave my chart up. All right, so we're out of the manipulation time. We have a down confidence arrow. We have hot pink candles. All 5 traders are still bearish across 6 time frames. A+ setup to the downside. Maverick trender pegged to the top. I know I sound like a broken record, but really, again, we're stacking probability in our favor every time we're looking for all these ingredients. We're just, here's all your check boxes. Oh, let me watch this. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I get into like teaching of the software mode and I forget there's a trade on. All right. And remember, we already closed out $200 of this by accident. So I say I did the dumb thing and I closed it out. If this goes over 1,000, I'm just going to close it out, which would be sweet. There you go. Boom. Down. Let's go. We already closed out $200 of it. And there's 1,000 on the nose. That was crazy. Now, here's the thing. It might go, I mean, it might drop all day. I don't know, right? But yeah, see, it just keeps pushing. It just keeps pushing. So pretty stress-free trade. You know, we knew where the zone was. We knew where we get hung up on. And the whole time, not once was I like, oh, we're going to go to the upside. Because all my points of evidence here were bearish. All 5 traders who all have a completely different style, they were voting bearish across 6 time frames. We had hot pink candles or red candles for most of this, which is your second strongest and your strongest downside data candles for most of this move. Okay. A lot of the move, we had an A+ setup or a B setup to the downside. We had this downtrend label for a lot of this time. Maverick trender pegged to the top. Like this is what clear vision is, and these are the indicators I wish I had from day one. Right? Okay, stress free, just so cool. And look, it continues to push to the downside. So fun, so fun. And even if you're a terrible trader like me and you just close out $200 of it early and then. Yeah, look at this thing. This thing's dropping like a tank. Oh man. But yeah, we closed out $200 because I hit the damn wrong button, got back in, and we just closed out another 1,000. But the whole time I was not going, oh, maybe we're going to go to the upside. Oh boy, maybe we're going to take off like a rocket. Like the whole time I'm just like, I have so much evidence to the downside that my confidence was like through the roof, you know? So anyway, listen, if you want clear vision on your charts, if you want some edge in the market, not financial advice, do your own research, never any guarantees in anything. The market can do anything at any time. Somebody can tweet something or whatever. But man, having the zones auto drawn for me and then a support and resistance score here to let me know if it's going to hold or break probability wise, to have the ultimate trading assistant down here giving me an A+ setup. Oh my gosh. We could have pulled another $500 easily from that, maybe even another $800. So I was in 4 contracts. But anyway, if you want some clear vision on your charts, we would love, love, love for you to come and check us out. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.